being on the Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's one of the greatest experiences of my life.
Alrighty, so what's going on, you guys? James here, and I have a very special guest on the channel with me today, actor Renes Rivera, who plays Lennox in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which just wrapped up their final episode of the first season. How are you, my brother?
I'm good. I'm relaxing though. I'm just enjoying, taking it all in. I saw I actually watched the finale today, and it was just I'm a fan of the MCU, so it was just awesome to like watch and the costumes and everything. So I'm good. I'm really good. Sorry.
Did you
answer your question? I'm really good.
Did you try to even like pick out yourself though in the finale, or were you just trying to soak everything in at one time?
Oh, just everything, man. I was like, oh, I remember being on set and stuff, and I'm like, I wonder what this is gonna look like, and oh, how they're gonna make this into New York because we filmed in Atlanta. So I was like, oh man, they did a fantastic job, and dude, just everything about it. Then Mackie's speech at the end, dude,
I cried.
dude,
I cried.
yeah, I was like, all right,
No, I get you. And it's funny because I do want to, like, before we get into your character of Lennox, even though I was like, in my reaction, I thought to myself, I said, man, that's Lennox, dude. I'm picking you out in like every single episode. Even before I knew I was getting this interview, I was like, that's Lennox. Hey, Lennox and Carly were like the two most notable Flag Smashers for me. So kudos, sir.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you.
Of course, dude, of course. So let's go ahead and start with just what led up to you even getting into this role. Like, how did that come to be? Because not everyone gets a chance to work in the MCU.
Yeah, no, I was fortunate enough to have good agents over at People Store in Atlanta, and they got me the audition, and I was able to just do it like a normal acting job and just do the audition and forget about it, to the point where I really forgot about it. Like, I completely forgot that I auditioned for it because it takes that long. And then like a month later, they're like, hey, we want you to do a callback. And I said, sweet, I'll do it. And it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm not thinking that I'm gonna get it because it's Marvel, And so I just got it through my agents and through auditioning, and it was a great experience. In that sense, I just didn't think I was gonna get it. I just got lucky. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna give you a whole like spiel or whatever. I just got lucky. I got really lucky with my agency.
That's so cool. And I know that, just going back to like the lead up to it, how invested were you in the MCU even before you knew you were auditioning for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Since day one, man. Since Iron Man, dude. Like,
Yes.
I was so what? That's why. Okay, so I've told this to a couple people, but like, I really cried when I got this part. My agent, when he called me, he was like, his name's Tom Milam, fantastic dude, I love him.
That's awesome.
He calls me up and he's like, hey man, are you sitting down? And I said, yeah, Tom, what's going on? And he said, you got the Marvel part. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I was like, well, what do you mean? I was like, I really appreciate you, man, over there, all you guys. And then it was just a really good moment, and I got to call my dad and tell him, and I was crying on the phone. He didn't understand why I was crying, but he knew that it was a good cry. So he's like, son, it's okay to cry. He had a little accent. And then I'm like, Pop, you just don't understand. It's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, This is like Iron Man and stuff, And so, we had that moment, and yeah, dude, that was just a good moment. That was a crazy moment when that happened. I'll be honest. That was like it was surreal. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, I can only imagine. And honestly, like, speaking of moments, I mean, now going like on set, so you're there, you're shooting, everything is like, you're locked in, you're ready for the long run. Which moment on set would you say was your most memorable? Because I would say like you were probably like so excited to be there, but once you get in the mindset of your character as Lennox, was there a special moment that you were a part of or that you witnessed that you would say is like your most memorable on set?
Dude, that's so hard. There was a fight scene on the staircase. It wasn't like even a huge scene. It was just me and Sebastian, and it's in episode 4 when he kicks me through the wall, And like that was like really cool because that was our only scene together,
Mm.
and it was just like a one-on-one thing, and then all the camera angles and going through all the stunts and everything with the stunt team because I can't fall through a wall, like
Yeah.
those guys, it was really fun being there with him and just being a one-on-one with one of the leads and someone that you've known of for years, and then being off camera with the cast, if I can,
Mhm.
say, yeah, I was on a plane, and we were on a plane back from Prague the first time, and so Mackie was sitting in front of me, and Sebastian was across the aisle to my left, and that was one of my favorite moments because Anthony Mackie and I we met years ago when I was a bodyguard
Mm.
in New York City in 2014. So I remember him touching my shoulder and he's like, "Hey man, can I talk to so and so?" And that's the person I was bodyguarding. And I was like, "Yeah, dude, absolutely." He had just come off, I think, Civil War or something. And so he was like fresh in my mind. I was like, "Oh, that's Anthony Mackie, dude. That's so cool." So I brought that up to him, and he remembers that same exact night because it was the second time he met my client, and I was like, man, we had a moment there, and we just had like there was a bond there. I was like, man, like this is kind of cool. And I had a moment when I was sitting in my seat, and we're like Marvel, they treat their actors well. It was first class, so like we're sitting in first class, and I'm just looking out the window, I'm looking at Mackie, I look at Stan, I look at all the other cast, Danny was there, and I'm just like, wow. And I occasionally take, a sip of whiskey here and there. So I had my whiskey and I was just sipping and I was like, man, this is crazy. This is something that, like, I watched these guys. I went to the theater to see these two guys in the movie, be a part of this. And now I'm a part of this with them. And it was just like, ah, man. I had this moment. I was this close to tears, but I couldn't show it. I was like, it was just like I was in there. I finally like I went from bodyguard to him knowing my name and he and I conversing and talking about some life experiences and stuff, and it felt like wow, it was like I guess a moment of validation and a moment of just pride for me because
Yeah.
I was like it worked, like that hard work paid off, and I always used to hear coaches say that hard work pays off, hard work pays off, but you're like, yeah, shut up, but like it really did, man. And that was a moment that I'll never forget, being on the plane and just talking to these guys. And then, Mackie called me Ren. I had a nickname from him. He was like, "Hey, yo, Ren." I was like, "Oh, dang, that's cool." you
Listen,
know,
I want to get
right?
nicknamed by Anthony Mackie. Are you kidding me?
Exactly, exactly. I so it was a moment. It was a moment, and then we all cheers. We did a cheers and toasted to each other. Cheers. We all toasted one another, and it was just a really good moment.
That's really cool.
Uh,
That's awesome. I think
yeah.
it's special because, like you said, there is that moment of validation. All your hard work is paying off because, you still have so much left, I'd imagine. This is going to open so many doorways for you. And I know we'll touch on that like later in the interview, but I kind of wanted to continue on like with the Flag Smashers because I'm sure there's a lot of things that happen offset that we don't get to see in front of the camera. What is one thing about this group of actresses and actors that we wouldn't know, that that would put them like, I guess, not above every other group in the MCU, but the one thing that I guess you'd want to share that would make us kind of love them even more?
Oh, dude, we are incredibly silly, and we just there's so much good chemistry between us. We're so close. We can open up to each other about anything. We can dance and have just a laugh and just sit in a room together and literally be quiet and still be, having a blast. And man, that group of people, it's just like I really I can't stress how much they mean to me. They're really like I got to travel the world and experience a first, with them. And some of us were that was our first time leaving the country. For me, it
Oh
was,
wow.
and so like I got to leave the country and we all left together to Prague and we walked around for like days, just like taking pictures. I have a ton of photos on my camera of just like stuff I haven't released yet. I'm gonna release some here and there, but most of it's just for like sentimental value and all that. And we text almost every day. We have like a group chat, And I'm so proud of them and all the work that they've been putting in, and to see just to see them on camera, it's just like they, man, I love those people, man. They're a good group of
It's
guys,
like a
you
sense of
know.
family in a way, right?
It really is. It really is. So whatever you see on camera, that connection, that's a very real thing.
Huh.
And I've never had that with the cast, and the thing is, we all started that show together. Mhm. So, we all started from episode one all the way to the end. And I've never experienced that with any other show that I've been on. And so this was like a new thing, and it felt like summer camp or like a new day, the first couple days of school where you're finding out, who's who, and then, who does what. And it was really just like a great experience. And it's because of them that I had like probably the best times on set and off set, in the hotels and everything. Yeah, it was just joking and laughing, and they were schooling me on some things. I was like, damn, Tyler's a wise dude. Tyler Dean Flores. He's younger than me, but he's a wise dude, and I listened to him. And all these guys just had knowledge, and I loved just learning from them and watching them, even auditioning. For because we're actors, we have to audition while we're working. And so when I watched them, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I never could have done that. And now I know that I'm able to, because, I'm going to pull from them and learn from them. So we mesh very well together, I think. And that's,
That's
that's one thing that,
that's
yeah.
incredible. That's incredible to hear. And I mean, I don't want to like let this interview go without asking this question. Who was the silliest in the Flag Smashers?
Oh, man. That is honestly really hard to say,
Aaron
but
Kelly,
I'm
man,
going
I
to,
don't know. It could
oh, dude, I'm not going to lie to you.
it could be you.
Dude, no, you know what? I don't know, dude. That's a really tough one. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that we've released some TikTok videos and stuff.
Oh, I haven't seen
And
them, no.
oh, India is like her energy is insane, and I love it. I love it. She's always bubbly and happy and just getting us moving. Tyler's always just like cracking jokes, and he's silly in his own way. Dez has like these like quick remarks. Man, dude. I want to say Tyler's the silliest. I want to say Tyler Dean Flores is the silliest. I'll give him that. But that's like that's a close one. That's not like a hard. That's like everyone up there. I'm telling you, we're a group of silly people, man. We're a group of people with energy, and yeah, dude. Like I just love it. I
I
love it.
get
I
it.
love the
No, I totally
silliness.
get
Yeah.
it. So now I kind of want to talk about the finale itself. Now that I know, of course, you've seen it, you've sat down, you've relished in that moment.
Yeah.
Even though Sharon Carter goes and puts whatever that was, like mercury, whatever, on your
Mercury
chest,
vapor.
mercury vapor, and then totally
Yeah.
just like ends your character. I was one very upset. I'm very upset at Sharon Carter anyway for turning. I think that it was cool to see you get the most screen time, and I don't want to assume that seeing you was your favorite moment in the finale, but what would you say is your favorite moment of the finale?
Oh, dude, when Sam breaks in and someone's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Captain America." And I was like, "You're damn right you are. You're damn right." And like the build up for his character and like the struggle and the battle between him and then learning about Isaiah Bradley and not feeling like he's Steve Rogers, and also dealing, with the fact that he's a black man in America trying to represent an America, a country that doesn't, that's filled with racism. Not filled, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
uh, so like the struggle and internal and external, like it to see him finally know who he is and know what he wants to do and how he's gonna do it in his own way, was just awesome. And then that speech, man, that speech, that speech was like, yeah. Like, as an actor, I'm like, look at that monologue. But also as an MCU fan, I'm like, look at Captain America speaking. That's what Captain America does. He gives speeches. Steve Rogers, he gave a speech and it hit everyone. And that's what a leader does. He talks from the heart. And that's what Sam did. And that was like a really good moment and favorite moment for me. I mean, of course, seeing myself is always great, but I have to give it to that.
I love that. Did you know any of that was going to happen in the finale, by the way? Did you know of his suit? Did you know that he was going to have these awesome moments, or did they keep it secret from you?
I was actually able to read all the scripts for each episode, but I read them in like one of their earlier drafts. So things have changed since then, and I just like I don't want to read too much. I just want to read my part because I am an MCU fan, and I want to watch it unfold, and I want it to surprise me. You know, I knew that episode six, the beginning, sort of was going to go that way with the suit and stuff. I just didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know how it was gonna happen, and it was fantastic, dude. Fantastic.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
I never once saw the suit, and that's I've seen a lot of things,
Oh,
but I never once saw the suit. So
how
the
did
first
you
time I
do that?
saw
How
it
did you
was
keep yourself from that though?
I just stay away. If I don't need to be on set or anything, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get away, even though I'm a fan. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've held the shield. I have a picture with the shield. I made sure of that.
But I know that the story for the Flag Smashers. So I feel like I understand more so about the group themselves more now that I see the complete picture. Because episode by episode, sometimes I was thinking, man, they need to give them more love, because I almost feel like they should be the central focus of the story outside of just Bucky and Sam, because they seem to be pushing Falcon and the Winter Soldier to their limits. They're making them question how they can go about defeating the Flag Smashers, their morality in a way, and like what's right and what's wrong, and even their governments. And I read an article, I think it was maybe like 2 or 3 episodes ago, and they said that the story of the Flag Smashers might have been rewritten due to the pandemic, because there were a ton of rewrites and reshoots. Do you think that there could have been anything that you would have changed about the story of the Flag Smashers, or did you love it the way it was?
Huh, that's a good question, man. I don't know. I feel like if I say I wanted to see more Flag Smashers, it's more of a selfish thing. It's just be like, guys, get me more screen time or something. But I think that Marvel and Malcolm and Kevin and Kari, and I think they all know exactly what they're doing, and they have a plan, and it's all. I mean, you saw the episode, you saw how it ended. I thought it was fantastic, and I think that they know what they're doing. I mean, would I have liked? Would have I liked it? Would I have? Would I have liked? Would have I? I would have liked it. Yeah, I would have liked if. That's just as an actor,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
more flag smashers. But I think that there was more. There were things that might have been taken out. A couple scenes and stuff that I know for a fact were not put in. I don't know why, and maybe I don't remember specifically what was written in those scenes. I would have definitely liked to see some more of the Flag Smashers, and not even in action, more of them as a group of people, as a family, for you to really connect with them and see how it really is affecting them, and what they really are doing from their heart, at least in their head, what they think is right and why they're doing it. If I think that they dove into that more, it'd be like cool, I guess. But like I said, they have a plan. It's perfect. I loved it so far. You know,
You think we're gonna see more Flag Smashers in season 2 or no?
like I said, man, you never know how Marvel is. They surprise you, and then they come up with things, they hide things, and you just never know what can happen.
I get you. I get you. I thought it was so cool, by the way, the title card at the end, Captain America
Uh,
in the Winter
yeah,
Soldier.
dude. I was like, oh, dude, oh, yeah.
I almost kind of want a trilogy from Sam, but if you had to pick Sam or Bucky, which trilogy would you like to see more?
I think that it's more important to have Sam. I think it's more important to have him, and I would love to see how he would take the mantle of Captain America. And I mean, he already has, and you've already seen it. But I would like to see how it changed him as a person, because he's no longer Sam Wilson, the Falcon. He's something else, something that's put higher, something that kids are going to look up to, something that the world is looking up to now as a protector. So I want to see that unfold, and how he becomes and stays Captain America, but his own version, and how he deals with that pressure. Like John Walker couldn't handle it. Even though he had the super soldier serum, Sam is like he's willing to do it, and even though there's a world against him, he's gonna. And so I would love to see that story.
I mean, I have, I think, one more question about the Flag Smashers, or just the show in general. And I guess my only other question would be: is there any like antagonists that you could say, oh, you know what, Flag Smashers, oh, they got them, they can take them, not one on one, but they
Oh,
can take them.
you know what? I think that if they had the right like training, because they're no Steve Rogers, they're no John Walker in the sense of trained soldiers. We're just super strong people with good hearts. In the sense, well, at one point we all had like really decent hearts, and we are trying to like save the world and make it peaceful again. But I think Sinister Six, I think that we'd be able to like at least take on a good amount of them. Like all if they were all eight of us flag smashers, and we trained, prepared for it, I think we can give a little fight to the Sinister Six.
They better bring you back for
Yeah.
that. For I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I might make Lennox into Rhino, hopefully.
I was gonna get into question about yourself, honestly. So you
Yeah.
get through the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the series finale drops, and you're now, I guess, working on your next project. That what would be next for you now that you have this doorway that's completely wide open?
Well, I actually was just in South Carolina. I was filming a show for HBO. I'm not sure if I can say the name. And I got to work with some TV legends, and that's coming out. I have no idea, but I just shot it, so I'm really excited for this one. I get to play like a huge jerk off, and I'm sorry for my language. And
You're good.
I am just I'm very like I love this role because it had a lot of layers to it, and like I said, I got to work with legends, and I was just so excited to be there and to see the people on set. And I got to work with a friend of mine, for the second time, so that was like kind of cool to work with someone else, on another someone that from previous project on a new project. So yeah, I'll just say the name. I worked on the Righteous Gemstones on HBO, and just a really good experience overall. One of my favorite personally. So like I got to work with like John Goodman. That's
Oh,
come on. Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It was fantastic. Yeah, I hope I don't get in trouble for that. But yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
love it.
You deserve that opportunity, man. You really do.
Thank you so much,
You're
man.
welcome. You're welcome.
I'm trying. It's been a while. It's been a long time. It's not easy. Like I've been at it since 2009, and I didn't get anything until 20 December 2015. So it took 6 years, 6+ years before I really, yeah, it wasn't an easy ride. And I just want to let people, whoever's watching, if you are an actor or you're anything that you want to do, it's not going to happen overnight. It's gonna take time, sacrifice. You're gonna sacrifice your friends, uh, some family members, sleep. You're gonna work for free. You're gonna go broke at times, and if you're not, then you're very fortunate. But that once you can get through all that, smooth sailing.
Of course. And what a way to break through with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Are you kidding me? Come on,
Uh,
Renes.
yeah, dude, I was so like, man, I told you, I cried, and I watched it. Like, I wake up, Friday mornings, and it gives me something to do, like a kid, and Saturday mornings, like I wake up, I eat my cereal. Sorry, eat my cereal or something, and see, that's how excited I get. Just punch myself, and everything just goes, it goes back in time for me. Like I'm waking up in the morning to see some superheroes, and I'm a part of that. I just happen to be a part of that, which makes it even great. It's really cool to see that. And then my nephews, I have a bunch of nieces and nephews, and they all watch it, and it's like really cool to like, be on something that they were gonna watch.
All right, so I had like rapid fire MCU questions because you said you're a fan. If you
All
don't
right, let's
mind,
do this. Here we
I'll get
go.
through what 5 or 6 of them, and some might be hard. So if you need to take a couple seconds, I get it.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Favorite MCU TV show or movie?
Oh, TV show. I loved WandaVision. WandaVision was like up there for me. It made me think, and like it made me think of Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie and all that. And I love sitcoms, and I love Lucy back then. So WandaVision, I love the unfolding of it. I love the psychology of it, and the build up to the end.
And what about
And
movies?
movie, yeah, Endgame. Endgame, I want to say because that was everything built up, everything that it built up to. And then when you see Cap with Monier, how do you say it?
Mjolnir, right?
Mjolnir. That moment is forever embedded in my head and my heart. Like I still get the chills. So that I want to say is, or man, see, Iron Man 1, when I first watched that, like that changed everything for me. I thought it was going to be like terrible because it's Iron Man. I'm like, no one wants to really care about Iron Man, and then blew my mind away. God, yeah. So Endgame. I'm gonna go Endgame.
That's a good
Endgame.
answer because that's my answer too. So don't worry. You had a
Okay,
good
good,
taste.
good.
Favorite MCU character. So I wanted to separate the Marvel Comics characters and the MCU characters because there's like this vast universe of characters in the comics. But favorite MCU character.
Damn, dude. I should know this. My favorite MCU character. I want to say it's Captain America because that dude does not quit. He does not quit, no matter how beat up he is, no matter what he's against, no matter if the odds are against him. He's gonna stand up and he's gonna fight. And if he believes in you, and and if he believes in what he's doing, like he just he's super strong mentally and emotionally, and he's a leader. An Endgame, when he's standing up and before everyone comes in, he's like, "I'm gonna take on every one of Thanos' army, the Chitauri, and Thanos by himself with half a shield." Like this dude, like he was like, "I'm just gonna give it my all because I have no other choice."
That's
Captain America,
awesome.
I'm
So
going
first you
Captain
pick my favorite MCU movie, and now you pick my favorite MCU character. So man, do two for two.
America. There you go.
I
Let's
love
do
it.
this.
And the last question that I have about the MCU: which character before you became Lennox in the MCU did you want to play so badly? Like, which one did you want to be?
Oh, I wanted to play, and I still do. I don't care how it happens. The Rhino. I wanted
Yes.
to play the Rhino in like the Tom Holland Spider-Man, it's like anthology. I wanna. I really wanted to do it. One, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm like a foot taller than Tom Holland. I'm about 10 years older than him. Um, it would be. I think it would be just a dream come true if I'm able to do that. Or if I was able to do that. Don't get me wrong. I love Lennox, but the Rhino is something that I've been wanting to do for years, actually,
That's great. Yeah,
for years.
we're gonna start this petition. So if you see that hashtag, go man. It's.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm
I'm
excited.
100%. Yeah, because Lennox could be Alexi, Alexi, Lennox. Yeah, like it's the same thing.
I
It's
love
the same
that. I didn't
thing.
even think of that, dude. My mind.
I just thought of it right now. I'll be honest with you.
That's incredible. So I guess the one last thing I wanted to ask you, man, is there anything else you wanted to tell the people about your experience on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or anything about the show that you just wanted to like leave people with now that it's done?
It was really just fun time, man, and watching the stunt performers and watching these guys act and being on set with Kari, and just it was an experience that I'll never forget. Everything was just so I was smiles the entire time. I could be on set for 14 hours, and I'd still be like, I was just having a really it was just a really good time. It was a good moment for me when I got the part. It was a bittersweet moment when we finished and we wrapped, and I got nothing but great experiences from there first. And it was just really like I just loved being a part of that cast, and just being able to travel and get paid to do what I love. And then it's on Disney Plus and it's part of the MCU. Just being on the Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's one of the greatest experiences in my life, and it's something I'll never ever forget. It really helped me grow as an actor, believe it or not. Just watching these other people do this and being around them, being around this energy, and being around all these like creative people, because hair and makeup, costumes, lighting, cameramen, everyone in the crew, just they were all so into it, and being a part of something that people are really dedicated to and really mean what they do, and for that project was just awesome. And it's just there was so much hard work put into it. It's so much fun also. That was it with that show, man. I love that. I love everything about it, and I watch it and I'm excited to watch it, and I'm sad that it's over and I want to watch more. And just that was just a really good experience.
That's incredible. Seriously, thank you so much for not only giving me a newfound appreciation for the Flag Smashers, but also just for lending your talents to the screen. I mean, it's so much dedication that you put into this, and it,
Thank you,
it
man.
shows, and you honestly deserve all the good things that are coming to you. You're so humble, man, and I really appreciate you just taking
And
the time to talk to me.
man, thank you, man. It really that means a lot to me, man.
Of
Thank you.
course.